Great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Rebuild Together benefit. My name is Işıl Gökgöz Hesik. I'm on the board of Utah Turkish American Association as Director of Public Relations. I also work here. I'm a video producer for Science Bank too. So this place is like home to me. I did film a lot of events here. Now we're organizing an event. It's so great to see all of you guys here. Utah Turkish American Association's mission is to serve as a link between all Turkish-speaking communities living in Utah through educational, cultural, social, and recreational activities. Members of UTAA have friends and relatives who have been directly affected by this disaster. Over 2.5 million people are now living in tent camps, and more than 50,000 people have passed away. It was the deadliest natural disaster in Turkey's modern history. So, if you could please join me in a moment of silence for the victims of the earthquake. Thank you. The theme of tonight's dinner is Rebuilding Together. We chose this theme because rebuilding is the third phase of an emergency response. The rebuild phase covers the first 6 months after a natural disaster and addresses survivors' midterm needs like education and housing. I'm so grateful to be here tonight with all of you as we look forward to the future and build a better tomorrow for Turkish children. I would like to thank our generous sponsors who made tonight possible. Our gold sponsors, WCF Insurance, and our most favorite real estate agent and professor, Antro Realty. And of course, without them, we couldn't make this happen. Dear Almore Advisors. All right. And our silver sponsors, dear Science Bank. Helpside. And our favorite bronze sponsors, Utah Council for Citizen Diplomacy. And our very own Desiria Chocolate. Where are you, Desiria Chocolate? Thanks to Sophia's Döner Kebab and Smith Johnson Tech, Lagoon, and Maza. Now I'd like to invite Utah Turkish American Association's president, our very own Pınar Bayrak Toydemir, to speak.
Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to Rebuild Together event. My name is Pınar and I'm a founder and the president of Utah Turkish American Association. Our organization has been founded in 2019. However, at the beginning we had COVID and we struggled to growing, but after COVID we had booming actually because we are Salt Lake City becoming a hub for many large tech companies, and we have started seeing many Turkish families moving from different states. So that's really good for us, and we're so happy. So UTAA's main goal is to link between all Turkish-speaking communities, and we want to become a Utah Turkish community who support and help each other. Our organization is also connected to with other Turkish American associations in the United States, which brings us collective support from other states. As a young organization, one of the main goals was to reach families who live in Utah. That's really actually difficult because it's hard to reach by websites, and our website is not top of the searches and everything, of course. So we want to reach whoever comes and moves to the Utah and help them. So we've been working on all these websites and participate in local events to make our name out, that people can refer each other. But one night, February 6th, it was a Sunday night, and we have heard that Turkey was shaking with one of the most powerful earthquakes. Not once, not even twice. So everybody was trying to reach family members in the region, trying to listen to the news, trying to understand how big and scary it was. So we've started seeing pictures and videos. Since that day, we all had the same question: how we can help? We are 1,000 miles away, but can we still do something? Can we make a difference? Can we reduce their pain? Members of UTAA have friends and relatives who have been directly affected by the disaster. So more than 205 million people live in these days in tents and containers right now. As the way with any disaster scenarios, children are the most vulnerable, and these regions have endured incalculable psychological, economic, and health burdens. So the benefit will raise in this event, and we've been doing a couple of other events as well. Our goal is to find funds to provide children in Turkey with education, health, especially the health for the prosthesis. Many of those kids actually lost their arms and legs, so they need prostheses and long-term medical help. And as you can imagine, this is a very long-time, lifetime support. So as they grow, their prosthesis needs to change, and they will need constant medical care, physical therapies, and so on. So you can imagine. So that's our goal, just to collect all this money and help them on their medical expenses. I want to thank you, all of you coming here and support us. Old friends, new friends, friends of friends, future friends, hopefully. And I want to thank you all. And I want to just finish my talk, and I hope you enjoy your food, and our group helped try to cook and all together. I hope you enjoy and help yourself with more food. I think there are some leftovers still. And thank you very much. I want to invite Ahmet Emre. He's the Vice President of UTAA, and he also has relatives lives in the earthquake area, and he's going to share some of his experience from that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Brad Chamberlain. As Utah Turkish American community, we are actually a small community here. As soon as earthquake happened, pretty much all of our focus changed. All we had been doing mostly, trying to gather, like every once in a while together and do either hikes or social events, activities. And we did actually a few times, like planting new trees in Salt Lake area. But then all of our focus was changed. It became all about everything we do just became about helping the earthquake victims. This earthquake was so huge, so massive. I mean, it affected 10 provinces in Turkey. And there's a 15 million population affected directly from this earthquake. And if you came across with a random Turkish person, it's almost 100% that this person either has a family member or a friend directly affected from the earthquake. All of my family, I grew up in that region, all of my family lives in that area. My hometown is only 40 miles away from the epicenter of the first earthquake. My brother lives 35 miles away, my sisters and my mom lives 150 miles. We feel very fortunate that they are all doing okay, none of their buildings were damaged. In my hometown, I have a large family. In my family, 2 of my cousins, they lost their home. Speaking to them, they feel so fortunate. You know, they lost their home like, oh, thanks God, we are like they are praying, so thankful to make it alive from that mess. So I also feel very fortunate that my close family is not, like affected in a big way. But in my hometown, I have distant relatives and people that I know from my childhood, especially, they got affected directly and they couldn't make it, unfortunately. One of them was my childhood friend, and I haven't been going to my hometown. I just go to visit my immediate family when I go there. I didn't see him in a long time. He stayed under the rubble. His cell phone had the reception for 3 days, then it died. Rescue teams couldn't even arrive to his building because there were so many places to help, they couldn't. After 2 days, they reached to his building. In 2 hours, they saved 12 people. They were 2 hours late, 2 days late. But my friend was not one of them. He couldn't make it, unfortunately. There are so many tragedies. There's so many tragic stories. As Utah Turkish American people here, we feel very fortunate to have our paths cross with wonderful people like you and willing to help. And I'm so surprised that, like, just talking at work or here and there with people, the first thing that you guys are asking, how can I help? This is just amazing, and we are so grateful for all of you. We have local connections, as you can imagine, as you can guess so far, in the earthquake area. We were able to help directly to them. In fact, so far, we were able to help 8 different families. And I believe we make significant change in those families' lives. I'll just give 2 examples. One of them was a family with 4 kids, 5, 7, 10, and 15 years old. They lost both mom and dad and their youngest 5 years old. Then 3 orphans. Aunt is taking care of these 3 orphans. Aunt also lost the husband. It was very tragic, it's still tragic. And their father, who could hardly make ends meet, he couldn't pay his social security contributions for years. Because of that, government couldn't give them salaries until they reach 18. With the funds that we raised, we were able to pay their debt, and all these 3 orphans are now receiving salaries until they reach 18, which is something that makes us at least feel that at least we are able to make a difference in some people's life. Also, similarly, another family that we heard through our connection in a city called Adana. This is where U.S. Incirlik base is. You guys, the U.S. military base in Turkey. I think the biggest U.S. base. She told us about a couple, elderly couple, and they have 2 disabled sons, and I believe one of them is paralyzed. And they were living in a tent because they lost everything in that earthquake. They were just in a tent. It's much harder if you are a disabled person and elderly living in a tent. As soon as we heard that, we actually spent extra effort and we allocated all of our funds, and we were able to purchase a container for them. I mean, it's not a home. I mean, you don't have that much money. But we were able to buy a container home for them. At least they are living somehow, relatively speaking, in better condition. As Pinar said, I mean, everything that we raise here, you know, the guy in the corner, that barman guy, he has PhD. Pinar said, I mean, everything that we raise here, you know, the guy in the corner, that barman guy, he has PhD. Even if you tip him, that tip will go to earthquake victims. Our primary focus is going to be helping amputated children, but we will also be looking for opportunities for families that are directly helping our need. Again, thanks to all of you for supporting us. I don't have enough words to express how grateful we are all feeling for all of you. And thank you all my WCF people. I have been working at WCF for 17 years. So these people are my people. And thanks all of you for coming and supporting us. Thank you so much. And I would like to call Matt Gosberg here. He has been amazing in his support from day one. I didn't go and ask him anything. He just came to me, Ahmet, what can we do as WCF? And I cannot find enough words. Thank you.
So we're grateful at WCF Insurance. We're grateful for the opportunity to be able to be a part of this. I'm grateful to be able to represent WCF Insurance in this role in supporting the Utah Turkish American Association in this particular benefit. Often, I think in our organization and probably in yours, when we read or hear or see of catastrophic events that happen across the globe, and they seem to be happening a lot, and maybe we hear about them more because we're more, we're more connected, able to see those things. We often feel some sense to want, some desire to do something, but it's difficult to do that from afar. You can often, we want to roll up our sleeves and get to work and do something about it, make some sort of measurable difference. And for us, this has been especially true because we have a personal connection to the event. Pardon me. To the event, and many of us are here tonight because of our personal connection to these events that happened in Turkey and Europe. At WCF Insurance, we've had the opportunity to work with Ahmet, as he said, for 17 years, more than 17 years. Professionally, as an organization, we have benefited tremendously from Ahmet and from his decision to leave Turkey and come on his journey and be where he is today. I think many of us in the room here have benefited professionally as well from Ahmet's wisdom and some of his technical proficiency. He's amazing to work with. And he has amassed countless friends across our organization in the time that he's been there. And in those days following the earthquake, I think it wasn't just me. There were a number of people coming to Ahmet and saying, what can we do? And learning of family and friends that he has there. And so some of us had made, some of Ahmet's coworkers had made some personal donations as well early on right after this crisis had occurred. But we were, as an organization, we can certainly help by donating to one of the many good aid organizations that are out there. There's a number of those. But we were hoping to have this more direct impact that I spoke of a minute ago. And in this case, the Utah Turkish American Association has provided us with a venue to do just that. And so it's a privilege to be part of this. It's a privilege for WCF Insurance to be involved. I'm grateful to all of the other sponsors that have also supported this. We're grateful to Ahmet and to the board of the Utah Turkish American Association for allowing us to participate in this way and to support Turkey. So thank you to all of you, and God bless Turkey.
I will give the microphone to someone who knows what she is doing. Yes.
I always look like I know what I'm doing, but not really. I survived all this time. So, we'd like to invite our speaker from our second vault sponsor, Dr. Eva Vasilevska.
Good evening. This is my pleasure to be here. Anybody who asks me to speak for 2 minutes is a fool. It's not going to happen. I don't write my speeches because then I cannot deliver them. Today is a little bit of an exception. So let me give you a very short introduction, short in my terms, okay? My name is Eva Vasilevska, and I'm a professor at the University of Utah for more years than I'm supposed to be alive. You know, lying about your age, it gets complicated when you get older. But I'm still doing that. And I am also an owner and principal broker and realtor in my tiny little company called Antro Realty. Well, there is a long way from academia, yes, I'm a scholar, I have everything to prove for that, to being a realtor. So if you are wondering how it happened, let me just tell you, it was a bet. I won. And so today, you know, I have a real estate company, I have all possible degrees in real estate, but that's not about me. Not about my company. This is about the kids and about Turkey. Remember, my accent is supposed to be Polish, but it's not. You had enough accents here. I have 3 homelands. One is Poland, when I was born. One is United States, when I immigrated as a political refugee. Of course, I look like a troublemaker, right? And the third one is Turkey. This is out of love. And, you know, when the earthquake happened, I was totally devastated. Because I'm sure that I met a lot of people who died, who lost their children. No, it was very emotional. So when I asked to sponsor this event, I was young. Yes, we are doing it. I was not able to do it without the help of my many friends at these tables, and thank you all to step in. Thank you so much for the love and your help. On behalf of Antro Realty and myself, I would like to thank the Utah Turkish American Association for organizing this fundraiser. I would love to thank especially Pilar and Michelle, who I don't think that she had any slept since February, maybe occasionally. They were crazy. What can I say? I cannot find a better description, but they were crazy working so hard to help kids in Turkey. My sincere gratitude goes to all sponsors, to all of you, whose generosity and willingness to help kids in Turkey at the time of need have been nothing short that remarkable. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for making this Rebuild Together benefit such a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, Hannah. Hannah Williams with Almor Advisors. Hannah serves as the Chief Operating Officer at Almor Advisors, a national consulting firm for nonprofits, foundations, and corporate grant makers. So I'd like to invite her to just give her speech. Thank you, Hannah, for being with us the whole way.
Very excited to be here, everyone. I was looking at my text messages earlier today, and I noticed that Michelle and I first communicated about this benefit on March 7th, which is almost 12 weeks away exactly. And she reached out because she knew I had event planning experience, fundraising experience, and she was curious if I could help Utah Turkish American Association plan their first benefit. And if anyone who's worked in the nonprofit space knows that 12 weeks is really not enough time to plan a benefit. I would not recommend doing that. Most organizations plan an event a year in advance, a fundraiser, a benefit of this scale. But Michelle and Pinar both knew that time was really important here. They wanted to get money out to their partners on the ground before too much time had passed, because every day really counts in an emergency situation. So, and it's been a wonderful ride with Michelle and Pinar. Our goal was initially to raise $10,000 for this benefit, and we achieved that goal last week. It's really exciting, and our second goal was to have 100 attendees at this event, and we surpassed that goal as well. So thank you all for being here and making those goals possible. I also want to note that Utah Turkish American Association is an all-volunteer organization. So Pinar, Ishel, and the rest of the board members all have other careers. I have a full-time job at Science Bank in addition to Almora. So we have been planning this event at all hours of the day, squeezing in conversations about the benefit where we can, and it has been so much fun. Utah Turkish American Association is a wonderful organization to work with. Pinar and Shell are smart and hardworking. Aiden and Ezra stepped up and took care of so many of the details tonight. The setting, the table settings, the check-in table. Amit and Eva have been wonderful at promoting this event, and so many other board members have really stepped in as well. So the Utah Turkish American Association has been my favorite client at Almora, and I don't say that to all my clients. So I really encourage everyone here in closing to think about ways your organization can partner with Utah Turkish American Association, because they are really wonderful. You're going to enjoy working with them. And I encourage you to donate tonight and make a meaningful gift to help build brighter futures for Turkish children. Thank you.